Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Ferris Sports Update. Time to talk Bulldog Hockey. And with us, head coach Bob Daniels. Coach, first of all, welcome back. Great to have you back on the show.
Good to be back here, Rob. Thank you.
Back with the Bulldog Hockey team this past weekend at home against the Alaska Nanooks in a competitive series. Both games went to overtime, and both games ended in a tie.
Yeah, it was very competitive. When you look back at both games, neither game at any time was more than a one-goal differential. It was close the entire way. It's funny, though, I felt as though we played exceedingly well on Saturday, but we didn't play very well, I didn't think, on Friday. And the idea that we had the same result both nights, coming up with a tie, well, yet I felt so much different about how we had performed in both games, where I was really, really pleased with Saturday's effort.
As we go to some of the highlights of Friday's game, back at the Avoglaven Ice Arena for the first time in a couple weeks, and certainly a nice crowd on hand this weekend.
Well, we had great crowds. When you consider how well our football and volleyball teams are doing, and the fact that they were playing at home this weekend, basketball team was in action. I know your group of workers must have been stretched very thin, but the crowds were great at all different events, and I want to thank you and your staff and John Coles and Kirk Weisenberger for doing such an outstanding job of making sure that it was so well attended. But yeah, you can see we broke out the gold jerseys on Friday night, and we're undefeated in them so far, 1-0-1. But we get our first goal, Zach Tierney. It's redirected by one of our defensemen that's now playing forward, Sean O'Rourke. They get the equalizer, and we're in the second period. This must be one of the few chances we had in the second where, you know, like I said, I didn't think for two periods we played well at all. I thought they carried the play. And again, we'll score a goal here in the second, but it was just off an individual effort. Great play by Corey Mackin, but as a team, we're not playing that well, at least up to this point in the game.
Corey Mackin with the goal, and he's been playing well for you.
Oh, he's been really good. Now, like a lot of freshmen, I thought he was one of the bright spots on Friday, but I did think Saturday's game slipped a little bit, and but that's to be expected. You know, he was our leading scorer going into this weekend. He was leading the conference in scoring going into this weekend. So you expect some ups and downs with freshmen.
They come back, get the score, and then from there, the third period and overtime scoreless. Neither team able to get back on the board.
Yeah, that's right, and it wasn't for lack of opportunities. I think both teams had some great looks and great opportunities to score. It's just that both goaltenders, they started a freshman. We started Darren Smith, a freshman, and both played exceedingly well that night.
As we come back to Saturday's game, you get out of the gold jerseys, but back on the ice in front of the home fans on a busy day at the sports complex, and certainly here another highly competitive game.
It really was, and it's funny when I see the white jerseys, it almost looks a little boring compared to the golds. But this game, though, was really good. They jump up to the lead this game versus the night before, but even then I didn't feel too bad because we were playing that well. You know, we just really were battling. I thought their team actually played better on Saturday than they had on Friday as well. So it's a good thing we brought our A game this night. Here we see Kyle Shum score a goal, and it's really good to see this line get on the board. That's our top line, and we've got a senior and two juniors on it. We expect them to carry our team, and they had been leaking oil a little bit lately, but they had a great game on Saturday night when we needed it most from them.
Chad McDonald obviously gives you the lead, but Alaska comes right back to tie it up again.
Yeah, like I said, we just didn't seem to be able to get more than a one-goal lead on the weekend. And you're going to see really a beautiful goal. There's one we thought had gone in, but I think this next highlight, yeah, this is going to be a great play. Drop the 22 goes in the net, good backdoor feed. Great play for the team. And here we're killing. It's, 42 seconds to go in the game. We were down a man for 5 minutes major, and we ended up having to kill the entire end of the third. Near the end of overtime, we get a good look, a good chance right there. But overall, I'm just really happy. We keep playing like that, we're going to win our share of games, Rob.
Certainly a busy stretch here in the opening month and a half of the season, and now you don't get a break here over the Thanksgiving holiday. You head to Lake Superior State. What do you know about this team you're going to face this weekend?
Well, they just walked into Bemidji State, and Bemidji's got a good team. They walked in there and won and tied, so we know Lake State's team on the move. If you look at college hockey, Rob, right now, the parity is unbelievable. On Friday night, 13 games went into overtime throughout the nation, 11 of them ended in ties. I don't think more than 2 games of like 20-some games ended by more than 1 goal. So you're looking at parity in college hockey, but not a bad parity. It's good. It's highly competitive, but it does mean every game's really important, Rob.
I know you mentioned Corey Mack and Darren Smith, some of those guys that are freshmen for you. How have they adjusted to college hockey so far?
Really well, you know, and there's a lot more than just adjusting to the playing. They've adjusted to school very well. All of our freshmen are doing really well in school, so we're very proud of that. But the one thing that they're not used to is the intensity you've got to bring every day in practice, and then the intensity that has to be brought every game, and they're learning that. But it's hard, and you can see it in Darren Smith, our goaltender, where, you know, like even today, Monday morning practice here, he was a little bit off as compared to usual. He's just not used to, okay, well, you get Sunday off, and now it's right back to work again Monday, and you've got to be prepared to play well.
I know your team's had some success. You've pulled out some wins already on the road this year. What does it take to go on the road here in the WCHA this weekend and get a couple victories?
Well, for us, a little bit more of the same as what we saw Saturday, where we simplified the game a little bit, but we increased our battle level, where I thought our competition level on Friday was really suspect through the first and second periods. We're going to need to play more like we did on Saturday, where we were willing to battle on all the loose pucks. Our competition level was very high that night, and so we'll have to have more of the same come Friday, Saturday in the Sioux. You
come back after that weekend, right back at home, taking on Bemidji State, and kind of unusual how the schedule works. One weekend at home, one weekend on the road, but not a whole lot of home weekends left in terms of the rest of the regular season schedule.
No, you know, between now and our semester break, we've only got 2 games at home with Bemidji State. And really, a lot of our schedule is front-loaded. We'll play 20 games, 22 by the time we get through the holiday tournament in Minnesota. We'll only have 13 games in the second half of the year, but I'm kind of glad about that. Our travel is very extensive, Rob. We go to Alaska twice this year. We go to Minnesota twice, and we're going to travel a lot. So having some off weekends in the second half is something that we welcome.
In terms of the power play, the penalty kill, what have you seen out of those units so far?
Our power play has been really good all year. Dave Sensor, our video guy, has come up with some different ideas for me to try to implement. Mark Kaufman, our one assistant, handles the penalty kill. The last 3 years that he's been doing it, we've been in the top 10, I believe, in the nation penalty killing. Now this year we haven't started off quite like that, but in the end, the last 4 games or so, we see a marked improvement in our penalty kill. So we're happy with our special teams. One of the areas we're always have been happy with 5-on-5 play is an area we're a little suspect, and we're going to have to improve upon.
Well, Coach, enjoy the Thanksgiving holiday. Best of luck to the Bulldogs as you travel to Sault Ste. Marie.
Well, thank you. Happy Thanksgiving to you as well and all the listeners.
We'll be back with more Ferris Sports Update right after this.